cards in Clash Royale that should never evolve. Evolving these cards can make the game seriously imbalanced. But there are also 10 other cards that are in desperate need of an evolution. So what are those cards? Today, I'll be revealing the 10 cards that need an evolution in Clash Royale, and 10 that don't. At number 10 in the list of cards that need an evolution, we have the Mini Pekka. The Mini Pekka is one of the most loved cards in the game. Pros and casuals love it because it's neither too overpowered nor too underwhelming. It's just perfect. Play it right and it can provide you tons of value. It can counter tanks, wreck towers, and give you some great positive elixir trades. But it's not like it's impossible to counter. It's extremely balanced, and that's what makes it worthy of getting an evolution. The Mini Pekka, however, doesn't see much use in top tier decks, so giving it an evolution seems like the perfect way to make it viable in top ladder decks as well. At number 10 in the list of cards that don't need an evolution, we have the Graveyard. This card already has a serious issue. It's RNG factor, and unless it's resolved, Supercell needs to refrain from giving it an evolution at all costs. It's almost impossible to properly defend against the Graveyard because of this. Imagine what an evolved Graveyard might look like with the RNG pattern. That's literally scary, and I'm 100% sure it would break the game. And it's obviously going to be a one-cycle evolution, which would just add insult to injury. Fixing Graveyard's RNG should be topmost priority for Supercell because literally every player complains about it. At number 9 in the Evolve list, we have the Magic Archer. Let's be real, the Magic Archer has absolutely fallen off from the meta. He's barely used in any decks nowadays, and compared to other ranged cards, he just feels weak. I feel like he's in a desperate need of an evolution because the meta doesn't seem to be supporting him anytime soon. Giving him an evolution can force the bridge spam decks to use him again. The meta has been really toxic these past few months, and we can surely use some high skill cards getting an evolution right now. Although, a lot of people say that the Magic Archer is not actually skillful. What are your opinions? Comment down below. At number 9 in the Don't Evolve list, we have the Elixir Golem. This is already a very complex card because it gives Elixir to your opponent upon destruction, but the problem is that for just 3 Elixir, he deals way too much damage, and that too in a matter of seconds. Giving it an evolution can turn the meta extremely toxic, something which we need to avoid at all costs right now. As we know from Supercell's track record, they have a habit of making the evolutions extremely overpowered on launch. And a broken Elixir Golem evolution is just what is needed to make players quit playing Clash Royale completely. At number 8 in the Evolve list, we have the Night Witch. The poor Night Witch used to be the main support troop in Golem decks, but now because of so much competition from other evolutions, she's been moved to the sidelines. Golem decks don't use her anymore because other support troops like Lumberjack, Electro Dragon, Baby Dragon are just much better, and they even have strong evolutions. The Night Witch not only lacks an evolution, but is also extremely weak as a regular card. So it's time that Supercell finally shows some love to the Night Witch and gives her an evolution so that she can once again be a staple in beatdown decks. At number 8 of the Don't Evolve list, we have the Miner. The Miner is probably the most versatile card in the history of Clash Royale. The reason why I don't want him to get an evolution yet is that he's already so strong that giving an evolution to him might just be overkill. The issue is that he is used in way too many decks, and because he's so versatile, players are 100% going to run the Miner evolution instead of any other evo they may have in their deck. This can literally kill a lot of other evolutions since you can only have 2 evos in your deck. Therefore, I don't think Supercell should rush in any way to give Miner an evolution. Let him remain in his current state and he should be one of the last cards to get an evolution, but in his current state, does he need a nerf? If you think the Miner needs a nerf, then hit that like and subscribe button. At number 7 in the Evolve list, we have the Giant Skeleton. While being weak on its own, he drops a massive bomb upon death, destroying everything around it. His death bomb is the specialty about him, and if in the future he gets an evolution, I'm absolutely sure that the mechanics are going to be something related to the bomb. Maybe he'll keep dropping some mini bombs even when he's alive. Anyways, I think he's a really fun card to use, and he's really solid on defense. Right now, he does feel kinda weak in a meta dominated by swarms and splash cards, so giving him an evolution might be a good idea to add some variety to the meta. At number 7 in the Don't Evolve list, we have the Clone Spell. I think the Clone Spell evolution is gonna be either completely game-breaking or absolutely trash. There's not gonna be anything in between. Right now, the Clone is probably the worst spell in the game. It gives 0 value. Also, since it's a 3 elixir card, its evolution will have 2 cycles. This will make things even worse for the Evo because you will have to play this trash spell twice before even getting to its evolved version. So Clash Royale should rework the Clone Spell first and then maybe think of a cool way of evolving the card. At number 6 in the Evolve list, we have the Skeleton Dragons. I think they're one of the most underrated troops in Clash Royale. There are just so many scenarios in which the Skeleton Dragons can provide so much value. But the best thing about them is how balanced they are. Giving them an evolution seems pretty reasonable. Currently, the Lava Hound archetype has only 2 to 3 good evos. For splash damage, the deck is forced to run the Baby Dragon because it has an evolved version, while the Skeleton Dragons don't. But if they were to get an evolution, I can assure you no one is going to use the Baby Dragon evolution in Lava Loom. That is much better for the meta because while the Baby Dragon is seen in multiple decks, the Skeleton Dragons are kinda limited to Lava Loon only. At number 6 in the Don't Evolve list, we have the Battle Healer. Giving this card an evolution would be the worst idea in the world. Healing mechanics were never supposed to be good for Clash Royale, and an evolved Battle Healer is surely gonna make the meta extremely toxic. Even though she's not that good right now, it's her core concept that's the problem. Healing is just unhealthy for the meta because it gives rise to extremely annoying decks like Elixir Golem. If she gets even a little buff, she will become overpowered. It's better that she remains a dead card. And if Supercell really wants to give her an evolution, then better rework her mechanics first. At number 5 in the Evolve list, we have the Electro Wizard. The E-Wiz has proven himself recently that he can be a really useful card. He can target multiple cards, has spawn damage, and can stun units. While an Electro Wizard evolution can be seriously annoying if Supercell messes up, I would still like them to give it a try. The Electro Wizard evolution can give a boost to the classic Pekka Bridge spam archetype, which seems to be struggling recently. What do you think an evolved Electro Wizard should look like? At number 5 in the Don't Evolve list, we have the Arrows. I think Arrows should be one of the last cards ever to get an evolution. The card is always so strong in the meta that it usually always has a more than 30% use rate. Giving an evolution to such strong cards makes no sense. It will literally kill the other evos whose base versions are not that good. So cards like Arrows or Log shouldn't typically get an evo anytime soon. At number 4 in the Evolve list, we have the Mega Minion. This is one of the most perfect cards to ever exist in Clash Royale. And I'm sure this card has 0 haters. I mean, it's literally so balanced. It's just that it's been overshadowed by cards like Inferno Dragon, Baby Dragon, and Minions for so long. Otherwise, it provides you with so much value for just 3 elixir. I feel like it needs an evolution to compete with other air cards, because the Mega Minion has been underappreciated for so long, and it definitely deserves its own place in the meta now. At number 4 in the Don't Evolve list, we have the Elixir Collector. I feel like the Elixir Collector is a really unbalanced card concept. It can either be totally game-breaking or provide absolutely no value throughout the game. Generating Elixir mid-match is kinda a dumb concept, and if you have nothing to counter the pump, there's unfortunately nothing you can do. How are you even supposed to give an evolution to such a card? At number 3 in the Evolve list, we have the Dark Prince. He's always been on the sidelines because of other cards like Prince or Lumberjack. He recently started becoming a little more viable after a few buffs, but still, it never feels like he's broken or weak. He seems perfectly balanced. The Dark Prince getting an evolution can make him as the number 1 choice for a support card in beatdown decks, and I'm sure players will love that. I assume the Dark Prince might get an evolution related to his shield, as it's the only thing that really separates him from the regular Prince. But yeah, an evolution to the Dark Prince can make him much more viable than he currently is, and he can become a staple in decks like Giant, Golem, Electro Giant, Goblin Giant, and Pekka. At number 3 in the Don't Evolve list, we have the 3 Musketeers. It may seem that they are in the need of an evolution considering how garbage they are, but let me present a different opinion. 3 Musketeers are one of the hardest cards to balance in Clash Royale. They cost a whole 9 elixir, but are still easily countered by any big spells or splash cards. A 3 Musketeers evolution is further difficult to balance because even if they have only one cycle, it'll be nearly impossible to play them more than once or twice per match, considering the high elixir cost. In my opinion, Supercell really needs to rework the 3 Musketeers in some way which makes them viable. Once they're somewhat viable, an evolution for them can be considered. How do you think Supercell should balance the 3 Musketeers? At number 2 in the Evolve list, we have the Healed Spirit. It's undoubtedly the worst spirit in Clash Royale. Other spirits like the Ice Spirit are much better because they are more versatile. Healed Spirit, on the other hand, is only used in a couple of off-meta bridge spam decks. The issue is that the Healed Spirit hardly provides the value which it's used for, while the other spirits provide instant value. Most of the times, the Healed Spirit doesn't even jump on the right troop and heal your troops. And even if it does, the health healed is really less, and it makes no major impact. A Healed Spirit evolution can put it on par with the other spirit cards while giving the card the impact it needs. At number 2 in the Don't Evolve list, we have the Flying Machine. Now, this might be more of a personal opinion, but I definitely don't want to see the Flying Machine get an evolution anytime soon. I mean, it's so annoying. It shoots from so far away, and if you don't have a fireball, your opponent can literally protect the Flying Machine all game long, and you're never winning that match. I expect a Flying Machine evolution will make the meta extremely toxic and give a rise to Royal Recruits decks, and that will probably be the most no-skill meta of all time. So I would like to request Supercell to never give this dumb card an evolution if they don't want players to break their devices. At number 1 in the Evolve list, we have the Phoenix. The fall of the Phoenix needs to be studied, but at one point it was the most broken card in Clash Royale, and now it has a 0% use rate in Clash Royale. It's literally a far worse Mega Minion for 1 extra elixir. The Phoenix Egg never hatches, so its respawn ability is basically a waste. The card needs an evolution right away because it's a really cool card concept, and it doesn't deserve to sit at the bottom. At number 1 in the Don't Evolve list, we don't have any one card, but a whole category of cards, and those are champions. Even with the removal of 3-card cycle, champions remain broken because of their abilities, and adding an evolution ability to them will make them unstoppable. In fact, 2 champions were hated throughout 2025. To know which champions those were, click on this video.